Hello, welcome to the next edition of Competitive Magic. Today, we're going to be playing Niv Delight with the brand new Niv Supreme through a League and Pioneer. And I think that deck actually is kind of decent, especially since the meta has, you want a diverse amount of answers. This deck gets that. It also has card advantage, engine package with, Reborn, and Supreme is also a decent closer after Reborn. Also lets you, of course, throw a land away, redo another BTL, get a better threat. So there's a lot of synergies, and this deck is moving in a great direction for being a competitive deck and Pioneer. My only critique of this deck that I think maybe the threats we need a little bit more different, diverse of threats, maybe, but we'll see. And if you guys like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll try. My goal is to do this series every other week and try to play, for the most part, those decks through a league, showcase what this deck can do. Since I am 100% confident in a proven deck, with slight adjustment of a brand new card and running through a league, than a homebrew that my other Wednesdays is for, and Jank Tank is to test synergies that are brand new to the format that might not be competitive enough. We'll find that's to be determined. Today, we're playing Niv Delight. If you like this deck, smash that like button, and let's get into the deck list. So, as you can see, we have Jangata as a companion. We are able to play Tybalt, Extinction Event, Caryatid, Glyph Weaver, Elishnorn, 4 binding. So those are our monocolored stuff over here. Then we have our multicolored stuff, which is Abrupt Decays, Dreadbores, Spirals versus Deafening Clarion, 1 main, 2 side for Boros Convoke. We have a Kolaghan's Command, we have a Wandering Mine, and our, as a potential Izzet card we can get off of a Niv Izzet Reborn. We have Omnath, solid 4-drop. We have Slaughter Games to fight against Lotus Field combo strategies like Creativity, which is really important because it can't be countered. We have 4 Bring Delights to get our Reborns and our one of Supreme. Sideboard wise, we diversify our threats because one of our worst matchups, it seems, probably is going to be Control. We have a lot of dead cards in the main for that matchup. So we bring in Dovin's Veto. We have Lavinia. It's good against Lotus Field. It's one positive thing because they do sack lands. So then they usually have like 3 lands at tops. So they have to cast 3-drop or less. Definitely hurts that deck. We have 3 Rest in Peace for Greasefang, Phoenix. Thought Erasure is our discard spell for control as well as mid-range. We have Deafening Clarion, like I said, for Boros aggro. That's a very big deck right now. We have Cabal as a way to also help fight against control, instant sorceries, space strategies, as well as Lotus Field combos like that. Unmoored Ego also helps against combo. Another matchups where we want to exile a certain card from their deck. And then we have Scarab God as a alternative threat that we could bring in certain matchups like mid-range that we can 2 for 1. This is a snowball type card, so that's really good in those matchups. So, no further ado, let's see if this deck can compete in a League and Pioneer. So he plays a Headquarters. Terrible draw. We'll play it. Is this a mirror? No, this is Incarnation. I think I just Passage, crack it, get an island, pass the turn. Jetmir's Garden, passes. Play the Swamp, pass the turn. Savini Triumph, passes. Mountain, and attempt to pass. Incarnation, plays a Binding, and we go for a Binding ourselves. Eat the Incarnation. Then we go ahead and cast this, 2 damage. Target player discard a card. Petal, because it's both. I think I BTL. This seems like the perfect time to get a Supreme. Yeah, let's Slaughter Games. Get Incarnation out of his deck. Because I don't think his deck does anything without a Incarnation. Kenrith, passes. Play Niv Izzet Reborn. Jeez, that's a lot of cards. We'll go ahead and play a Triumph, pass the turn. All right, so he has 2 and 2. So he could pump it to a 7/7. I think I just take it. Moonbless Cleric. Play the Cemetery. BTL. So black and white. So we still have a Vanishing Verse up. We grab Elishnorn. That means he can't use Binding. And we smack face for 6. Got it. Alright, against this matchup, we'll bring in Ego, Dovin's Veto, and maybe Thought Erasure. Abrupt Decay seems bad. Deafening Clarion seems bad. Do I need Extinction Event? Is there a world where I need some removal? Probably not, right? I think this covers enough. So I don't want to go down all my sweepers, but I want to have some. Vanishing Verse hits Leyline Binding, which is important. Dreadbore is iffy. Kolaghan's Command. Maybe Kolaghan's Command's just not worth it. Everything he has is enchantments anyways. Run it like that. Puts a Gartens down, passes. Play Rafine's Tower, go. Yep, Bitter Reunion, seems good. Gets rid of a Night of Autumn. So, change of plans. We play Thought Erasure. Incarnation. Take Fable and the Mirror Breaker. Top it. Pass the turn. Unmoored Ego. So, we name Incarnation. He does get to draw a card, because he has one in hand. We will just drop down a Caryatid. Play Overgrown Tomb. Tapped. Pass the turn. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. He is a Moonblessed Cleric. Heliod. Sacred Foundry. Untapped. Supreme. Niv Mizzet Supreme, baby. Fable the Mirror Breaker gets back with a Heliod. He scoops it up. 1-0. Lead off with a Foundry tapped. Ticket. We're facing Boggles. We play the Caryatid. Plays Light Paws. But I think we have to Clarion. Pass the turn. He has another Scout. There's a Black Source. Skrelv. Puts Jengatha in hand. Puts an Armor down. Goes to combat. Attacks. We Abrupt Decay the Armor. Hollow Fountain untapped. He goes to combat. Swings out. Eat the Skrelv. Plays a Mana Confluence. Plays a Jengatha. Dreadbore the Jengatha. A Srom. All that glitters. Play the Growth Spiral. Find a Triumph. Perfect. Play a tap land. Go ahead and Niv Delight. So I think I cast this. And we just pass. Yeah, we take the 1 damage and the 1 poison. Bring Delight. We will get Niv Mizzet Supreme. Cast the Niv Mizzet. We get it. So we have 3 Clarions. Better than a Dreadbore. And Thought Erasure could help. Slaughter Game seems kind of slow. Wandering Mind seems kind of slow. Yeah, Kolaghan's Command seems kind of mid. I think we just run it like that. Thicket. Scout. Passes. Oh my god, a Clarion. So we go ahead and Gardens. Pass the turn. Makes a Dork. Hits me. This might be bad. Down to 13. Caryatid. Pass the turn. Goes to combat. Swings out. We block the 1-1. We name Odd. Pass the turn. Skrelv for the opponent. Hits me. That's a land for next turn. Temple Garden. Untapped. Light Paws. Sentinel Eyes. We go ahead and Verse. Oh, I shouldn't have done that, because now he Skrelvs. Yeah, that was a slight misplay. Binding. Eating the Skrelv with the Verse, and then went for the Binding on the other. We're down to 7. Play Elishnorn. Light Paws. Only a 3/3. Go ahead and drop Clarion. Both modes. And then we drop down Caryatid. Play a Fabled. Fable Passage. Hit you for 4. Go to 11. Extraction Specialist. We'll grab, I guess, an island here. Play a tap land. Play Bring to Light. Grab Valky. Cast Tybalt. Got it. 2-0. Plays a Swamp. Passes. Foundry and pass. Aetherborn for the opponent. Think I Fable here. Pass. Crack Fable. Get a Swamp. Hits me for 2. Up to 22. Play a Triumph tapped. Geo. So he goes to combat. Attacks me with an Aetherborn. Let's just go ahead and verse that. Thought seizes me. He is really debating about this one. Urborg. Thank you. Passes. So we just Hollow Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. Castle Lockwayne. Is this Invoke Despair? We take some damage. Down to 12. Passes. Niv Mizzet. Swifts in. Nope. Just casts an Aetherborn. Plays a tap Hive. We draw a land, so that's good. So Slaughter Games. Name Invoke Despair. Abrupt Decay. He signs in Bloods. Another Sign in Blood. Plays a swamp. Thought seizes. A mountain. That's not a bad draw. Played Nib Mizzet. Get a clock on. Pass the turn. Another thought seize. Takes the other bring to light. Liliana comes down. You're going to down tick it? Yes. So we sack our Niv. What else do you have? Plays a Field of Ruin. Plays the Murderous Rider. Colligan's Command. 2 damage. So we get back a Niv. We shoot the Lily. The Mind. Go digging. Get Abrupt Decay. Pass the turn. Power Word kills. Goes to combat. Swings with the Rider. We will just Abrupt Decay that. I don't want you gaining life. Alright, he makes me discard my Niv. Play a Caryatid. Pass. Turns on the Hive. Haha, you fell into my trap card. Known as a Vanishing Verse. Misery Shadow. We will go ahead and Binding. Eat the Shadow. We untap. We go ahead and get Jeff in hand. Play a Triome. Play Jeff. Pass the turn. Extinction Event on Odd. Eats my Jeff. We just pass the turn. He gets to draw a card. Down to 6. Liliana. So that means it upticks. We pitch the Clarion. Dreadbore. Play Fable Passage. Pass the turn. Graveyard Trespasser. So he's at 5. We untap. Mana Confluence. Pass the turn. Don't even play it. Draws a card. Down to 3. Flips the Glutton. We just take it. Draws a card. Down to 2. Goes to combat. Swings with the Glutton. Eats the Colligan's Command. Yes, we trade. Or chump. Alright, we finally lost the game. So in this matchup, Garrett God seems pretty okay. Clarion seems weak. Thought Erasure's probably decent. Veto, maybe. Possibly Unmoored Ego. So probably could trim an event. Maybe Elishnorn isn't worth it. Maybe a Dreadbore, sorcery speed removal. Let's get rid of the decay. Run it like that. Alright, I'll just play that Triumph. Pass the turn. Or Swamp. Thought Seize. Yeah, it's turn 3 Erasure. Play the Ground. Pass the turn. Plays the Swamp. Sign and Blood. Passes. Pass the turn. Swamp. Necromentia. Nib Mizzet. We draw a Catacombs. Omnath. Thought Seizes me. Takes Valky. Grasp. Tap Hive. Play Petal. Slaughter Games. Invoke Despair. Field of Ruin. Shieldred. We go ahead and just eat the Shieldred. So we play Mana Confluence. Pass. Bankbuster. You draw a card. Does. Plays a Castle. Cycle the Triumph. Discard. Return. Scarab God. Okay. Omnath. Play the Tomb Tapped. Gain some life. Play Caryatid. Kills my Omnath again. Play the Plains. Play Scarab God. The Omnath. Make a copy of the Omnath. Pass the turn. He swings. We block with Omnath. Extinction Event. Eats my Scarab God. Aetherborn. Binding. Play a land. Get Jengatha in hand. Play Jengatha. Another Aetherborn. Liliana. Binding. Crack the Fable Passage. Then the deck, I don't think it matters. We'll just grab an island. Bring to light. So I definitely think it's this. Cast Deadly Vanity. So we'll just smack you for 4. Draws a card. Desperation. Passing. Cycle. Pass the turn. Plays another castle. Untap. Caryatid. So we go to combat. Just force you to chomp with the Hive. Unless you have removal. Score. You don't like Slaughter Games? Yeah, I mean, we do have Unmoored Ego if we need one of those. Alright, so I think I'm going to cut one of those. And run a Abrupt Decay. I think that's fine. Run like that. Swamp. Play a tap land. Go. Play Watery Grave. Untapped. Black, blue. Thought Erasure. I think I take Necromentia, right? We're drawing a BTL. Plays a Lily. Upticks Lily. I think I discard the Caryatid. So I Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. Unmoored Ego. Invoke Despair. Oh my god. I just got rid of one. Aha, we get a 2-2. We get a 2-2. It's such a good card. That hurts. Triumph. Play Passage. Crack the Passage. Grab a Plains. Verse. Hit you with a little zombie token. Signs and Bloods. Plays a swamp, untap, Omnath. So we play that, gain some life, smack your face, pass the turn. Plays a swamp, no attacks, I assume. We untap, breeding pool. So I think I breeding pool tapped, gain some life. Actually, I don't need to do that right now. I don't need that extra mana. I don't attack. All right, draws a card with castle. Attacks with the ether board. Take it. Thoughtseize. Haha, gotcha. Probably means extinction event is coming. Another ether board. Cycle. Eat. Smack. Pass. Binding. Eat the lily. Jim-baited you, man. Untap. Caryatid. Get Jengatha in hand. I don't think I play it. Yeah, let's do it. We got rid of the ether board. The good old-fashioned way. Field of Ruin. So he draws a card. So Jengatha is our win con. Lily. Upticks? Sure. I'm going to die to the clock. Maybe. Hit you. Come on, give me a break, says the opponent. Okay, kills my Jengatha, so now I have less of a clock. Plays the Murderous Rider. Caryatid. Pass the turn. Castle. Yeah, take it. Go to combat. Smack face. Pass the turn. Graveyard Trespasser. Cycle. Pass. Alright, we're gonna lose the clock. We just can't find BTL or nothing. Like, I think a BTL would make us win. Attacks. I need a BTL this turn. I need BTL. Nope. That ain't gonna do it. So what did we learn this week about this deck? And overall, I thought the deck functioned quite well. We ended with a 3-2 in the league. I didn't showcase the other win, because technically we won because of the opponent timing out, because super slow control player. What are you going to do? We ended up going 3-2. So not a bad record for this deck. I definitely think I could have made some slight changes in my play patterns to maybe get a 4-1. Especially against mono black at mid-range that we showcased in this video. I might have been able to make some slight differences and go ahead and get a win there, but I think this deck has some serious legs. I like the deck overall. If you somehow get a better removal in the either Rakdos slot, Golgari slot, something like that, that's also pretty good against control. Maybe Drown in the Loch is something to consider, right? We don't really have any way of milling them, but at the same time, it's such a unique card where it addresses two different deck types in one card. So we're able to counter spells and their discard spells, and then we're also able to shoot and kill aggro threats, which is actually quite powerful too. Maybe that's something I want to look into. I don't know if you have any suggestions at all for better removal or adjustments in the removal package of the deck. Let me know down in the comment section. The other thing that kind of worried me was the fact that we didn't have enough bombs for top decks. We can grind with mid-range like we showcased, but eventually I think they have more bombs than we do. So eventually we draw lands, our opponent draws Trespasser and wins and stuff like that. We have a lot of removal in those differential slots. Caryatid is a weak spot in that regard because, yeah, it makes us get 2 Reborn, BTL, stuff like that. Extra fixers are colors, but at the exact same time, it's a really bad top deck. Griffleaver, Valky also is not a very good top deck. They're just great with Bring to Light. So I'm not exactly sure how I would want to make some slight adjustments in this list to make it be a little bit stronger against mid-range, because the best deck in the format is Rakdos mid-range. I do think we have a decent shot of winning the match. It's probably like a 55% to us right now, but I like to make that a little bit better because it's such a close race, and a slight mistake can cost you the entire game. It'd be nice to push that to like 60%, where there's a little bit more margin of error. If you have any suggestions for that matchup at all, let me know down in the comment section. But I do think we address a lot of key things in this deck that I really like. Until next time, where we will play Jank Tank next Tuesday. Hopefully you guys have a great rest of your week. And we have some sweet other decks being featured this week. If you haven't already, go back and check out the mono red deck that was featured or played yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So check that out. I'm excited about playing that deck. And yeah, we have some other sweet videos dropping this week. Teamer, Mind Splice, and also we have Arcane Bombardment dropping this Thursday. Make sure you check them out. Talk to you soon.